Well guys, as promised, I've brought you to the old South Hadley burial ground here in South Hadley, Massachusetts. (1728). So the Gaylord Library is over on College Street across from Mount Holyoke College here in South Hadley, Massachusetts. And this burial ground was moved from there over here. So get ready to check this out. I'm going to just do a panoramic view of this first. Isn't this amazing? And those of you that do like old graveyards and gravestones and things of that sort, I believe us folks like that are called epiphiles, if I'm not mistaken. And I always thought it was interesting going through graveyards. I mean, there's just some really beautiful carvings on some of these. Some of these you can't read, they're so worn off, but some are still very vibrant. Memory of Mrs. Roxa, wife of Simeon White, died in 1804, July 22nd, in her 39th year. These are really, really, really cool. The carving and the imagery on some of these are pretty interesting. In this day and age, we think of these things as spooky, but back then it was typical of most graveyards. The urn and the weeping willow. Most of these over here are pretty much, time has kind of taken its toll on these. But we'll keep on walking and see what we could find. As far as any interesting stories about any haunted areas here in South Hadley, they say that there are some rooms and places in Mount Holyoke College that are haunted. Mount Holyoke College is a college here in this town that originated, I can't remember the year, but I'll insert it here. Started by a woman by the name of Mary Lyon, and it was a college seminary for women, and it's still up and going today. A very prominent college, part of the 5-college area here in Western Massachusetts. Memory of Stanley Way, maybe? Some of these are really cool. Look at the imagery on that one. Isn't that neat? Here's another one with the urn and the weeping willow. Very, very cool cemetery. You see some of these over here. Look at this one here. Wow. I'm not going to talk too much because I know a lot of you guys just like to sit back and look at some of these. So let's go back over here. Elias P. Butts. Well, there's a name for you. Mary Butts. Oh, look at the imagery on this stone here. Is this not beautiful? It's amazing how the phone that I'm filming on actually comes up much clearer than what I'm looking at without the camera. Sherebiah butts. That's a name you don't hear very often anymore. And this is in memory of 3 sons of Mr. Sherebiah and Mrs. Lydia Butts, who expired in the manner of their house. Oh, the flames. Oh, so they died in a house fire. Wow, look at that. So there was Asaph in the 12th, Seth in the 9th, and Simon in the 7th year of their age. How sad. And on December 24th. Wow, how sad is that? So they had a house fire on Christmas Eve. Oh, how sad. Those poor children. Oh, all perished. That's sad. And these all look very similar. Usually the smaller gravestones, yeah, here's one here aged 3 weeks. Usually the smaller gravestones are indicative of a child that passed. Yeah. So let's go back here a little bit and see if there's any other interesting ones that I can show you. This one here has some interesting carvings on it. It's hard to see through the moss. Some of the stones over there that are broken and people have just leaned them up against the tree. Because remember, these are very old and a lot of these were moved. These were actually moved over here from the other location where they used to be over on College Street across from Mount Holyoke College, where the Gaylord Library is right now. You can hear the crunch, crunch, crunch from the leaves, I'm sure. Our leaves are coming down. We didn't have a lot of color this year, but the little color we had, as soon as they turned, they fell, and everything is dead and crunchy right now, so. Let's see what else we could find here. There's another carving here with an urn. Those are very popular ones. And this particular gentleman must have been in the military. They have a flag up here for him. Some of them they repaired to the gravestones. There's one there's with a repair. Now if you look, a lot of these are faced the other way. They leave, just all worn off. Let's see. Yep. So these are all faced the other way. And originally, I believe in the Christian religion, if someone was buried, they would always bury the dead according to the way the sun would rise in the morning. They would place the monument and the deceased in such a way where it would be facing the sunrise as opposed to the sunset. These carvings, isn't that amazing? You guys can probably hear some of the crickets. Let's see what we got over here. There's a little interesting carving. What are these? Are those birds? Not sure what those are. That's Martha Nichols. Hope you guys are enjoying this. It's kind of low-key and just a little stroll with me through the cemetery. I haven't been here in a long time. You can always pause the video if you want to read some of these stones. Some of the prominent names in this town were Gaylord, And Judd. Judd was a very popular family name, so a lot of times you'll see that name. Let's back up here. These stones here are very large. Look at these. Again, with the weeping willow and urn. Died November 4th, 1838, age 63. Yeah. And here's one here that's a newer monument. Family may have elected to put a new monument in here for this particular person. Passed in 1903. They're really old. Isaiah Winslow died on October 14th, age 35 years. And Alice, aged, I can't see that. It's hard to read some of these. Look at this one here, guys. Esther. Died September 5th, 1853, aged, is it 17 years? Elizabeth A., 1855, 27 years. Daughters of Timothy and Sylvia Spalding. You guys might hear the bells from the tower at Mount Holyoke College right now, actually. Because it's currently, actually I'm not even sure what time it is right now. I don't have my watch on me. Normally I have my watch. I didn't bring my watch. And you can hear the bells. See if we can tell what time it is. It's 5 o'clock. There's one of those little lambs with the, unfortunately the head has got cut off on it, but that was a child's, this is a child's stone here. Looks like aged 9 years and 10 months, or is that just 10 months? It's hard to read. And it had a lamb on the top. And unfortunately the head got broken off, sadly. So, I hope you guys are enjoying this. And also, I know it's not for everyone. Some people find it creepy, some people find it kind of morbid, but I mean, it's just, you know, it's you're paying your respects, as well as it's a part of history, you know. And being the season of Halloween, I know some people like to see these things. There's a really cool stone coming up over here of John Woodbridge, and Woodbridge is also another common name here. We actually had a restaurant years ago called Woodbridge's, and I believe it was the same family that started that, and it was the same house that he lived in, and they turned it into a restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. I can do some research, and if I can find it, I will stick it in right here for you. Oh, look at that. Very interesting. And now we got the sound of a leaf blower going on over there. Sorry about that. Cyrus White over there. Oh, and look at that. Wife of Cyrus White. Look what her name was. How appropriate. Boom, chicka boom, chicka bow wow. Giddy up, Elvira. Yeah. Interesting, huh? Everybody knows Elvira, right? Mistress of the Dark. There's a curious name. Medad White. Medad White. I'm going to turn around very slowly here, and you can see the cemetery goes for just a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to walk all the way to the end over there, and I'm just going to show you some of the interesting stones that I see. So here's another one I just finished telling you guys about, Woodbridge. And here is Colonel Ruggles Woodbridge, and Jaleel Woodbridge, and Enos Woodbridge, and Eliza Whitney. That's quite an interesting stone, isn't it? So here's the front of the back, I guess you could say. And most of these are very similar. A lot of them have the urns. But here's one here that I think you guys might like with the two. This was in memory of Dr. Samuel Vinton. He passed in the 65th year of his age. So interesting. And here's another beautiful one over here. Look at that. Again, with the urn and the weeping willow. And there's another with the two heads. So cool. And kind of spooky for those of you that like this sort of thing and think it's spooky, then hey, I hope you enjoy it. So that's the South Hadley burial ground, guys, out here in western Massachusetts. I'm gonna head my way back out, and I'm going to head home, and hopefully I can get this video out before Halloween so that you guys are able to sit back, relax with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and watch this walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave some comments below in the video. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciated this, and let me know what you think. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday, November 2nd for my next live sale. And until then, happy Halloween.